I'm in producer mode today.
So,
Not
are you heard or?
I am heard, but if I want to be or not, I have the power of the button.
Fancy.
So I'm going to hand over to our host for this episode, Miss Lucas Shaw.
Well, hello.
Do a clap.
You can clap for me. I'm not going to stop that. Okay.
Our fight, our sass, our arts, our
So today we're joined by Jake and Miranda from Dare to Know Theatre. I've got that right because I know I was saying it wrong for a while, wasn't I? Nobody was correcting me. And these guys are an Oldham-based theatre company, am I right there? Independent theatre company, theatre makers, community theatre, that kind of stuff. So tell us when you joined 1853 Studios to start with, maybe.
Oh, that's a good question.
You started first, didn't you, with your friend, your filmmaker friend?
Yeah, we had a project on at that time. We needed a specific space to get. We were writing together, so to get together and write. I can't work at home, so that was instantly off, and he can't work at home either. So we were looking for studio spaces, and then we were looking in Manchester. We were looking in is there one in Stockport, in Rochdale, and then this one, this is literally 5 minutes from my house, 5 minutes from Nick's house. We're like, oh my God, it's a dream. And then we messaged Rachel and we was like, oh yeah, we'd love a studio. And then we were like, yeah, the for artists. And we're like, yeah, we're writers. And she was like, oh great, okay, come in. And then luckily she met us and liked us.
I wonder what she thought you were.
Yeah, I can't remember what we said. I think,
You don't seem...
You don't seem creative. You're not the creative
well, you can
type.
imagine how Nick had write an email. I can't remember what you said. We said in the email that we're like, oh yeah, we've got a project that we need some office space for, and then luckily we found 1853.
So when was this? Did you say?
I think it's about 5 years ago. Yeah,
early
I've been
adopter.
here ages.
God, you've seen like a lot of transformation then.
Yeah. I think
What did it look like when you first came?
They were still finishing off the back wall, and then the two studios where me and Rachel were still just marked out.
Yeah.
So I think we waited like 2 months, and then the rest of them were built. And I think we took the last one in the Mill One.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think we took the last one, and then luckily now Mill 2's opened.
Yeah.
And it's getting pumped up. Where's Mill 3 going to be? That's what I want to know.
Take over the world. So I feel like, Miranda, when did you join? Did you join at the same point?
I think Jake and I were working together at the same time, weren't we? But
Yeah.
we didn't feel the need to have an office space at that point, did we?
No.
But then things for Dare to Know started taking off pretty soon after you moved in with Nick, really.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of, once they'd set up the office, I kind of bobbed in every so often, but didn't really use it as like my space. But then Nick decided that he was
The project fell through.
Yeah.
And then
we just took it on as part of Dare to Know.
So then Nick was saving money.
Yeah. And I'm kind of in and out. It just depends on what my other jobs are, sort of thing. Some weeks I'll be here for a full week, and then some weeks I probably won't see the place for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's great
quite
having
nice that dipping in and out.
Yeah, but it's lovely having an office. I love saying it. Where are you going? I'm just going to my office. I'm just going to bob in the office on the way home.
When I go into your office, your space,
Is minging.
I always. Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's certainly got that energy, that writer's energy. You know, you've got on the walls, you've got all of the post-it notes, what I like to call a murder wall. You know, you're connecting your narratives, your threads. It's exactly whatever you as the listener are picturing right now is what it is.
It's probably more mental.
Pot noodles.
Up the wall.
Yeah. It's full of
kind of
whiteboards so that you could just start your list, right, what we think. Like the other day we had to do something for the Coliseum relaunch on Monday.
Yeah.
And so we started it with just a mind map on the wall of like, what does the Coliseum mean to us? And because we had no idea about what we were going to do, and that was what 5 days before.
Yeah.
So it was like, right, just write as many words down as you could possibly find, and then pick out from those words what was the idea? The end idea was, what's it like to go to the theatre? Why do people go to the theatre? What do they gain out of going to the theatre?
And what does it do for working class communities?
Yeah.
And I feel like those questions are actually, a lot of the questions that you as a company are always trying to answer.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk on that note a little bit more about what you want to achieve, what Dare to Know aims to do, like mission statement type of thing, because I feel like those kind of things are like...
We always think that people in Oldham at the end of a week might have 30 quid in their pocket. So you've got to compete with that £30 of buying a ticket, buying childcare, things like that, buying maybe a meal, and actually make it more enjoyable than buying 8 pints in a pub.
Yeah.
Like, I think, what would you rather do? Have 8 pints in a pub or risk that tenner going and seeing a show that you might not like?
Yeah.
So I sort of refuse to put anything on that's more than a tenner, because I know that I can't afford that. Never mind the people who I'm writing for and we're making theatre for.
People can't afford to go into Manchester and buy a £35 ticket to see a show that you don't know whether it's going to be any good. You're not certain about it. It might be an old-fashioned show that's written over 100 years ago, or you could go to Oldham and see something brand new, a new piece of writing
that relates to you, that is about Oldham, is about Oldham people, and then that is made by Oldham people as well.
And that's the whole point. It is always new writing, and it's always for Oldham, and it's always an Oldham story whenever we write it, isn't it? Well, not me. I don't write. Jake writes.
And does he write?
Does he write?
So I actually didn't know that predominantly, or is it entirely Oldham stories, or
it's mostly Oldham
cast
stories.
It's not stories about Oldham. It's about stories about people that will have an effect on the people who live in Oldham.
Relatable.
So it's all like, at the moment, I mean, nobody's got a pot to piss in. It's we're living in a crisis, an economic crisis in Oldham. And a lot of the time, people in Oldham are being so ignored. You can go into, I work for a company called The Factory, and a lot of their work is South Manchester based.
Yeah.
You don't hear a northern voice in there. You hear a lot of London voices. They will work with South Manchester, Disbury and that area, but nobody's doing anything for the OL1 or the OL9 community. And for me, those are people are just as much of that on the outsides of the creativity, as much as the black and ethnic minorities of this world. Oldhamers are really losing out at the moment. Edgerton, you don't have to go to the Houses estate on Edgerton Street. When do they ever go to the theatre? What have they got in their life that's creative? What can they access? There's no access to adult education anymore. There's no community colleges. There's no art available to them. And if you think about literally what they need to kind of motivate people and to inspire people and to be proud. What was you were saying? You said you were talking to a young girl today, and what did she say? Oldham's.
We were talking about antisocial behaviours and what are the antisocial behaviours going on in Oldham and how can we fix them?
Right.
And she was in year 11 and she said, why would we want to fix Oldham? Oldham's full of rapists and weirdos.
Oh my.
And that's just her view of Oldham. And I had no view on how to fix it. Didn't actually want to fix it. She was like, I can't wait to get out of Oldham. And it's like, that's so sad that Oldham's become a place to come from rather than a place to come to. So,
I mean, that's one part of our sort of mission statement, is to make Oldham. So back to what it is to me, it's beautiful. You've got 5 minutes in any direction. You've got the most beautiful countryside. We've got the most beautiful parks. And yet everybody says, it's a shithole. If I hear Oldham is a shithole one more time, I'm going to go mad. It's not a shithole. It just needs a bit of love and tender care. Yeah. It needs the inspiration put back into it. It needs the pride. I used to teach at college, and all they were teaching the kids was to leave. Stop teaching people to leave and start teaching people how they can afford to stay and what they can do in this beautiful town.
And how do you see those that come into fruition? What are the answers with that,
Well, if you have to look at our community, the people who are in our community projects, they're all about 20, 21, 22. For that age group, there really isn't anything for them to do. There's, the youth clubs, they're too young. Madlow doesn't cater for them. They won't be seen dead in there. A lot of them don't want to drink. They're not really interested in drink, and they're not that bothered about going into Oldham to go and drink. So what have they got to do? Literally nothing. there needs to be some sort of community hub, somewhere that they can focus their attention and they can sort of experiment with what they want to do and be inspired to look at companies like what's happening, that's springing up in the studios, and sort of say, actually, that's an artist and they're working. Do you know what I mean? That's a company that's working in Oldham. They're creating their art, they're doing what they want to do, and they're earning money from it. We're never going to be millionaires, and I don't think that's the point of it, is it? But actually, talk about fulfilling life, and that's what's more important, and that's what will make the difference to those younger generation. It's about, you can go away, go to drama school, go to wherever you want to do, but don't forget where you come from, because actually, and it's that next generation.
Where does a young person in Oldham, like 18 to 25, get their opportunity to try and find a passion that they're interested? Where do they get the opportunity to try and find pottery or music or theatre or film or sewing or upholstery or something like that? They don't have the opportunity. There's nowhere for them to test that. So how are you ever going to find out, bloody hell, I love putting fabric on sofas? And
But you only have to go around the town. You look at all the young mums that are in the area. I was pregnant when I was 17, and people write you off. They just put you on a council estate. There you go. Yeah, I'll have Limeside. There you are. That's your life. And then there's nothing there left for you to do. There isn't like back in the day when I was younger. There used to be like adults education where you could go and learn a language or do something. You know what I mean? But there's nothing like that available now. So then I remember thinking, well, what do I do in my life? You know what I mean? Is that my life now, looking after a child 24 hours a day, staying in my house, not having enough money to do anything? And I think that's really important, that people don't constantly see the barriers that they got. They see that actually you can do anything with your life if you're willing to work hard enough, and you're willing to, and those opportunities are around.
And what changed for you then? What made that step, like, to be able to move back into those spaces? Or was there something, did you attend a workshop? Did you go to the theatre?
I've always worked in theatre, so it's been all my life, but I was backstage, so I was trained as a stage manager. So I went to Oldham Theatre Workshop when I was a lot younger, and I worked backstage. I was a deputy stage manager and worked at the Coliseum and everything like that. And then I did a youth training scheme when I left school. But then when you're pregnant and you got a baby, you can't actually physically work backstage in the theatre. It's just a no-no. Yeah. So then I went back to college, thinking, well, I've got to do something. Tried acting, and randomly, I was really good at it. But I think it was it was. I never ever expected to be actually good at anything like that. But I think it was the years I spent watching everybody else. So I was always at the front watching.
I see. Like, you were backstage, you were watching.
Yeah. So watch. And then when I came to do it, I was like, oh, I'm not so bad at this. And then I was really lucky to get into a top drama school, which was another really, really lucky sort of event. And then I worked for a theatre company for a year after leaving, which was also another really lucky. And then went to an audition. I was like, fuck this. I cannot cope with rejection. I have not got a thick skin. I'm like,
a fundamental need for an actor,
absolutely, yeah. So then I went back, kind of, but then worked in TV for quite a while. I worked at the BBC, worked for a corporate film company, and then moved back up north and then worked for ITV in Leeds and at Granada. So and then went into teaching. So I've kind of done a little bit of everything, but I've never been unemployed. I mean, I've never had to go through that horrible process of that universal credit of desperately trying to plead your case. Well, do you know what I mean? I've been really, really, really lucky, but it's only the arts that have given me that. If I hadn't have had those two sides of my coin, I don't think I definitely wouldn't have had the opportunities that I've had in my life.
How weird is it, like, working in FE, that you're constantly fighting with young people and parents that it isn't a viable job to go into, that you need a backup and you need this.
I'm sick to death of that. It's not a real job. What's your real job? It is a real job.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
It is crazy that you're always fighting for people to trust. Actually, there is a career in it. It might not be. You might not become a famous actor. You might not do this, but actually, you might end up finding your passion in producing, or finding your passion in script editing, or finding your passion in writing, or something like that. And there are jobs out there.
And I think it's quite interesting, you know, I think the arts generally is sort of being a bit, it's adapting almost, isn't it? I think multidisciplinary, cross-disciplinary stuff, all of that stuff is becoming, like, you know, these are buzzwords now, because everyone's realising that essentially maybe I need to branch out, you know, all right, I mean, I studied illustration, I hate illustration, you know, I love visual arts, and I was basically an artist studying an illustration degree because I thought there'd be a job in that, because it's a more of a commercial, you know, so what I'm saying is I can relate to that massively, and actually what I've ended up doing, very, very different, you know, for actual money. I might not be like, you know, selling paintings, which is maybe what I'd like to do at some point, but ultimately, like, there are so many avenues in which that I've gone down, so many skills I've learned that means that actually I am working in this industry, but in a totally different way to what was expected.
But I think that's what's trying to be pushed onto the young people nowadays, is that this is what our message is, and it certainly was when I was working at Oldham College, was it's not, you can't just be one thing. You can't just be an actor. Do you know what I mean? That's a great ambition, and if you love it, go for it and do as much as you can. But actually, there's more to life. You only have to look at any TV show that's going on up here. Media City's up here. You've just got to be a jack of all trades, and it's not hard. It's not rocket science.
Well, also, say if you are an actor and you're working in TV, you might have a year-long contract, and then you might not be in for another 6 months. So it might not even be a financial decision. You might just be bored.
I was talking to somebody off Hollyoaks the other day, and she was like, she'd had a 5-year contract on Hollyoaks when she was younger. Lived the life, absolutely. You would have thought she'd be sorted. Do you know what I mean? Got a house together, everything like that. 5 years, she's got nothing. No. Absolutely nothing. She's not saved any money. She's not done anything with it or anything like that. And she's a working actress, and she gets work here, there, and everywhere. But it's like, it's not that even finding fame doesn't mean you've made it. Do you know what I mean? And what is made it? What is making it? Making it is, to me, when you can earn your living by doing something you love, and that's as simple as it is. And whether it's
even I go as far as to say, you know, you're even just at least making a living enough to be able to do the thing you love as well, you know, because so many artists dependent on what arts venture you're involved in, which part of the arts sector you're in. Like, you know, they do have these jobs. They have so many jobs in order to have one day or something like that to be able to do what you love. That's success too, you know. Absolutely. But ultimately, like, how do you encourage those people to keep pursuing that? Like you say, like, back to that initial question of, like, it's worth pursuing because, you know, fulfillment will come through that. You know, you don't know what you'll learn, blah, blah, blah. You know, how do we do this? Like, and I'm interested to know what your work is within those communities. So, like, you make community theatre, you work with young people. Why don't you tell us an example of something you've worked on recently?
Mentorships. So we do a lot of mentoring, don't we? I think that's one of the things that we've always done without calling it mentorship. We've kind of just mentored along the way, but now we've done a few, haven't we? Do you want us to talk about?
Yeah, so we had Caitlin and Tom that we mentored to write their first play, and then that is a lot of young people we've worked with along the way. So, like, sort of working with Sonia right from the start, who was started off. You taught her in college, and then she came into our community plays, and it's sort of, we feel like the next step of between college and university of, like, some of these young people aren't ready to risk 3 years and 28 grand on university. Like, that's a scary move. So it's like Jess now, who's come on as our associate producer, she was a student last year and she didn't have a clue what she wanted to do, so we just said, just come and work with us for a year, see if you like it. You might find that you really like it. If you're good at it, producing theatre, there's a lot of money in it for a theatre producer, and you might just find, actually, I can do that. And then maybe she trains as an actor.
Like Jess now, she was amazing, wasn't she, the other day when we were doing the invites? I mean, she was absolutely so supportive, and I don't think we could have got through the day without her. But, like, there's so many aspects to what we do that actually she could go into different fields. So, like, we're now, I think she's going to become our social media manager, because we
haven't asked her yet.
Yeah. It takes up so this is the but it takes up so much of our time that actually that's something that Jess can do. So then she's got that on her CV. She's got you know, she'll have had a social media campaign that she'll have organised and she will have delivered, and that on her CV then she can go into different worlds. It doesn't necessarily have to be theatre. No. But we mentor people in so many different ways. You know, Sonia, for example, I don't know how to say it, but
Umar at the minute.
it's confidence with her mental health, her ability to remain calm, her, people are not always come out of life as in the normal package, do you know what I mean? They've got lots and lots of issues to deal with. And if they've got somebody like me and Jake to sort of hold the hand, to mentor them along the way, it helps. Umar, another one, Samira, Umar's sister, and that's the kind of thing that we do in the community. It's not about taking them up and then dropping them. It's about nurturing them and making sure that they're going, making sure they're going to university, filling in the UCAS forms, making sure they've got the reference, making sure they've got money, making sure they've got fags, making sure, do you know what I mean? It's those little things that kind of, I think me and Jake kind of fill the gap of that sort of the unofficial mentory sort of thing. But that's kind of what we do for the community, I think. And we just give people a bit of focus about what they're doing each week. We've had people who've just lost their husbands and didn't know what to do with themselves. And so it was like just that going out of the house one night a week made some massive... They only did one project with us, but it made a massive difference to her life because it just that focus of, I've got to do this. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing on a Tuesday. Having that.
And there's a weird thing with it because it is such... I always call it a team sport. It's like if one person lets the team down, then you're struggling. So then actually you can't let the team down on a Tuesday. So then you actually do have some sort of purpose of going, I'm doing it for the team, I'm doing it for the project, I'm doing it for this, and it's got to be on. It's got to be on in a week, and I've got to go and I've got to learn my lines, and then that's a bit of purpose for somebody that might be struggling or might. Like I think for the young people as well, especially after they finish college, like you said, there's nothing for them to do. So maybe this Tuesday evening is the most interesting thing they do with the week.
Well, that's why we have so many younger people. I mean, I'm always saying it's not for kids, it's not for kids. It drives me mad.
It's so important for kids.
But it's so important for those 20-year-olds, those 21-year-olds, and especially from the more diverse community members, because they don't drink, they don't want to go to a pub. Do you know what I mean? They actually need something to do with their lives that they find enjoyable.
I think what's interesting as well, and it does feed into this studio project as a whole. It's just like seeing yourself represented amongst others who are doing stuff, and again having that like accountability that you just touched upon there as well. Because as artists in all disciplines, you end up being quite lonely sometimes if you're writing, you're making art, you're doing whatever. And sometimes a studio or having a community or anything, it does just give you that little bit of accountability. Like, oh, people haven't seen me in for a while or whatever like that, and I'm going to go in because otherwise, do you know what I mean? And I think it creates that it creates that accountability, and it means that everyone's sort of looking out for each other and those sorts of things. And I think that's really key, and it's always like key to all like other studio projects that I've been involved in the past as well. But here, I mean, it seems like Oldham is absolutely
it's so nice for it. It's so nice because there's so many times where I've been writing to a deadline, and I am sat in a windowless office just trying to make myself feel things all day. So it's nice then when somebody on the group chat just goes, oh, we're going to have dinner in the gallery space outside if anyone wants to join. And then if I'm writing for a week, that might be the only people that I speak to for a week. So then that's what community is about. It is. They might actually genuinely be the only people that I speak to, and while I'm in that focus zone.
It's just so vital. And I think here, as you say, like in Oldham especially, like it just seems like
needs that. A lot of what, when we first started out as a company, the theatre scene in Manchester is very hard to get into. If your face doesn't fit, your face doesn't fit. There are certain people within the industry who are the big names, and then everybody else is kind of aspiring to get up there, sort of thing. And that's one of the things that we said we absolutely do not want to ever anybody feel that they can't come and talk to us, they can't come and express their ideas or share with us what they're doing. And that's one of the things that we really determined to do in Oldham, is to create that community of artists that can support each other, even if it's just as simple as sharing sharing a social media post, if it's going to their show, is it whatever it is that people need, it's got to be about that community spirit, because nobody's going to be successful on their own. Nobody can just go up there on their own, and we do not want to go into that Manchester sort of vibe about who's the best, everybody slagging everybody else off. Each year we do the invites projects, and we invite as many local companies as we possibly can to do a new piece of writing, or to a new dance, or a piece of music, or film. And the idea is that within that, it's that you've created a small community that lasts for that particular night, but then that community they'll go forward, so they'll all know each other and they'll all support each other. So in theory, you're just creating community after community after community of a massive supported network. And it works. We've got friends in the industry now who we go to any show and it's like, oh, there's that person, there's that person, and people are willing to go. We've got one man, Shay, who just does all the photography and all of Manchester. He's amazing. He comes up and he takes his photographs and he sends us to her, and it's amazing. But he just likes doing it. We've offered him money, and he's like gets really insulted if you offer him money. I'm like, I'm so sorry. But like with that, to have him on our side is a massive big, and it saves us a fortune, really, doesn't it? But having him backing us up means so much to us.
Well, it's like when invites this year, we were meant to be in the roundabout, and it collapsed. I think the day before we were meant to go in, so we had to source an alternative venue. We had to source alternative lighting. So then you're pulling favours from the community.
So many favours. I don't think I've got any left at all. No. Literally no favours at all. Everybody's like that now. Like, not looking at her.
That only comes from creating positive relationships.
Absolutely.
So it's like if we offer someone a favour and they offer us a favour, that's kind of what community is about. And if you can do more of that in Oldham, and there's so many creatives in Oldham, it should be like, I need this prop making, this person could do it.
And it's passing on that work, isn't it? I know somebody can do that, or I know this person who could do that. Go to that person. We had a meeting once right at the very beginning of Dare to Know, and somebody says to us, are there any creatives in Oldham? And I was like,
I could see Miranda's face was like,
I think there might be a couple, babe. I think there might be a couple. But literally, that person's attitude was, I can't get people from Manchester to Oldham to watch shows. And then I was like, but why are you going to Manchester? You've got an absolutely huge housing estates on your doorstep. Why are you not getting them? Them are the people you should be worried about that aren't coming to watch your shows, not people from Manchester. And that's people's attitudes about Oldham. It feels like they don't believe that this creativity exists. Of course it exists. The issue is the town's on its ass at the moment. It feels down. There isn't that much inspiration. I feel that it's been flooded. It's the money. The money's been taken out of the town, and you can tell. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There's no. Bring back Topshop, for God's sake. Clothing shops.
That's our one plea from this. Bring back Topshop. I did have a question actually as you were talking like that, and I think it will probably be on a lot of people's minds actually, and I think currently it's very important topic of conversation, and it is funding. Like, how do you fund yourselves? Do you mind us asking that? Because I feel like you have an interesting
we're completely self-funded. So we've had one Arts Council funding bid accepted within 5 years
ago.
So we were submitting them for like 2 years, and then the forms are that much of a bastard that there's no point. We feel like there's no point in even filling them out. So we've not submitted a bid in maybe 3 years now. So we're quite lucky that we get quite a lot of corporate work that comes through that we do. So like it'd be theatre and education projects. So we have a student finance tour that goes out every year. We have projects that happen with Oldham College or with Oldham Council, little jobs that come up, and that sort of funds us to do our big arty wank projects that we like to do.
That is an unbelievable story. Like, I literally think though, like there'll be people listening, hopefully, who are in those situations, just been declined funding, and hearing these stories, because we need to hear more of it in the arts. The arts is on its boom. Just like Oldham, just like all these places, like it's so hard to get funding these days, and we need more conversations around alternative funding methods, self-funding, supporting private projects, supporting personal projects with corporate work. That needs to stop being taboo. Because I think sometimes it is. You know what I mean? Like if you're not,
it's the only way we do it. I mean, we've got like a yearly plan, which is we do a corporate gig, which then pays for the community project. Because that's another thing. Our community projects will and always has been free. It's got to be free at the point of source. We don't charge anybody for doing it, because that to me is what art should be about. And it should be freely available to the people of Oldham. And then that also pays for our wanky art project. I call it the passion project. With wanky art if you want. But that pays for the passion projects. And then luckily we've got friends in the industry who will do things like a profit split with us at the theatre. Whereas other theatre companies, they might charge them a lot more, but because we're nice and Jake's a cheeky chappy, we get away with murder. But and it's picking things up like little workshops here and there, just tiny little jobs that then all mount up. But we don't make any money, and we don't make a fortune at all. I mean,
we both work full time. We end up doing like 80-hour weeks sometimes, just to sort of
think that one day it might pay off.
I think it is.
That day is in 2080.
I feel like Dare to Know though at the minute they're really getting a bit of airtime, and you're doing the good stuff, the good shit. I heard like your poem that you. I know I was going on about it when you came in the day after, and I was like, Jake, I watched that poem over and over, and it moved me to my core. Like it's beautiful. I just feel like you are getting a lot of there are opportunities coming for you, and people are starting to recognise what you're doing here. More so than others maybe. And I what's the future now then for Dare to Know?
I think it's just it's literally a case of just keep plugging away. And I am a great believer that things will happen. There's a new theatre, the Coliseum's being reinvented, so that's being sort of reopening in 2025. And we're kind of not involved, and we're involved at the very beginning of it, which is quite interesting. It doesn't mean that we get to run it or anything like that, but what it means is that we'll have a say of what goes on and how that theatre sort of is redesigned and reopened. So that's quite exciting. What we really want is a theatre. I mean, that's all we want, is a nice studio space that we can have 80 people in it, that we can, run as a venue. We need a bar area. I mean, without a bar, theatre doesn't make money. That's how it makes money. It needs a community area. It needs a cafe or something like that. And for us, really, it'll be about trying to find. That's our next step, isn't it? Trying to find that space, and then the future is maybe looking at somewhere like the Coliseum Theatre to be part of that. But that's it. You never know with what happens with venues like that. They could just say, we want an artistic director, and then that's it. Then you're at the whim of one person's decision making. At the moment it looks like it's going to be run in like a parliament style, so there's going to be lots of artistic companies involved in it, and if that's the truth and if that happens, that's great, because then obviously Dare to Know can be part of that, and we've been invited to be part of that. So but who knows what happens when it opens? Who knows where that funding is? Who knows that? In the meantime, what we're looking for is a building, an empty pub, the Royal Oak.
Plugging it.
Oldham Theatre Workshop's on space.
Oldham Theatre Workshop's on space.
Keep going.
The Egyptian room that's been, which is next to the town hall, has been empty for how many years?
Do you know all them empty buildings people keep complaining about online?
Any of those will be fine. Any of those will be fine. We think we can do it. We think we could run a nice. We want to run we don't want to run. We do want to run theatre, but literally we've got a plan of what we want to run. We want to run a community hub, so we want to run a space that people are welcome, that could have an adults community college attached to it, so they can come and do classes within it. That you can have a running venue at night, so you can have comedians, you can have small studio shows, you could run site specific work out of it. It can be a warm space for people to come and access during the day. That's what we want. That's the dream, really, isn't it? When that'll happen is another matter, but
I
we'll
told
keep...
you 2080.
I'll be dead, Jake!
To be fair, I might be.
I can see it. I literally can see it. Like, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be you guys. I swear to God, it's really good to see what you're doing and like the ethos and everything. Like, it is inspiring. Like, it really is. And I hope that more and more people will come to your shows and see things and invest in this, because it truly is like a grassroots kind of project that is needed to have that attention. When's your next show? Where can people go?
The 21st and 22nd
we've got
of July, which is exactly about 10 days ago.
Oh my God.
Jake's just finished writing it yesterday. The community, they only just got it last night. It'll be fine.
We've got a saying at Desert that things always have a way of working themselves out. They just do. So we're at our community play. What you're saying is on our Short Playhouse, the 21st and the 22nd. Tickets will be like a £5.
Yeah, big up to Short Playhouse.
Yeah,
They're friends of ours as well, and they've literally they were so upset about what happened with the roundabout theatre in the Coliseum. They've given us the theatre for free. They're not charging us.
Oh, wow.
So that's amazing. So we can't thank them enough.
Love that.
But it's a little opportunity for me and Jake to sort of drag back a tiny bit amount of money for the hours that we put in. But yeah, and also our community deserve it. They've been working really hard.
Yeah,
it's
they're
a great play.
unbelievable.
Do you want to tell them what the play is about?
So we've been looking at the social media on Facebook, Oldham Facebook groups, and just sort of the way people speak to each other. And honestly, we've been using it as a verbatim topic. So we have scenes that intertwine and then go into verbatim bits of actually what people have said online. And
Oh my gosh.
I've got a notes page which is about 120 pages long of just things that people have said on these Facebook groups, and it's vile the way people in Oldham speak to each other.
It's so horrible.
It's such a divided time. I think that comes out on the social media pages, and it's honestly makes me feel ill. Like some of the things, and it's when you write in verbatim, it's sort of my job to piece together what I see from it, but also it's like it's unethical for me to cut things out that people have actually said, and some people are ridiculously racist, ridiculously homophobic, ridiculously prejudiced on online, and it's got their face and their name there, and you're like
shocking.
Obviously we've cut people's names out and things like that, but it's what people have said on social media. So it's like, if it's shocking, which it is, it's actually the reality of what's going on. I think that's what a lot of our work does. It's a reflection of reality.
Wow. And in this particular play, your cast, your crew, are they Oldhamers?
Yeah, so every single person is somebody from Oldham, a community, one of our community group from Oldham.
That's
we
so
do
great.
an open call out probably at the beginning of the year of like, anybody who wants to come and make a play, come. And it is like, if you turn up, you will be in the play. Like,
Literally had people coming up last week. Yeah, of course you can have some lights.
I was at a night out on Friday. I was like, do you want to be in a community play? After about 6 baby Guinnesses, and people are like, no.
I was saying some young... It sounds really awful. I was in Clifton Park and I'm looking at this young guy. He's a friend of a friend. And I was like, God, he looks like an actor. I was like, shall I talk to him about acting? Shall I? I was like, no, you're a bit drunk, Miranda. I know, but he looks like an actor. I could talk to him. I was like, no, calm down.
You don't have to talk to actors though, it's fine.
Oh, it's all right then. Yeah. But it's a good play. It's quite hard hitting actually. This one. It's quite shocking.
Imagine it.
Yeah, the ending's quite shocking. It's not massively long. What, 55 minutes?
55 minutes.
For a £5. Come along and support us. It'd be great to
We'll
see
be
as
in the
many
bar,
people
we'll be
there.
around.
We will be in the bar.
We will be in the bar.
We're very good at
It's a
that.
very cheap bar as well, Short Playhouse.
Yeah.
I'm very into that.
That's what we all like to hear,
I
isn't
think
it?
that's part of the reason I do theatre.
How much for the pint? And now decide.
I love, honestly, I love a theatre bar. That is honestly
it's
the
good,
best
isn't
thing
it?
about a theatre.
Yeah, hats off to the people in the theatre working. I used to work in a theatre, and all the it's not
Ushers.
half time, but
You've been watching too much football, Lucas.
interval drinks. Oh my god, I used to dream about interval drinks. Going home afterwards, like having an interval drink after interval drink.
But then our big wanky art show that we've been.
Oh, go on.
Our passion show. We're on.
Which we need to thank you guys for letting us have the share in there the other on
honestly,
Friday.
it was so good.
It was so good.
Good.
I don't think we've ever been in that situation where we've had an audience that we can genuinely genuinely talk to them about the play, because normally you do a play and you go into the bar and it's all, oh, it's very, very good, very good, but you never really get a proper response. But we could ask some really personal things about the play, which were in our heads. For instance, there's a word, That's So Gay is in it. It's quite prolific throughout it.
There's a lot of casual homophobia in it.
Yeah, and a couple of people from the industry had sort of said they didn't agree with it being there and things like that. But then it was nice to actually ask a real Oldham audience, what do you think? Does it offend you? Should it be there? And I think the answer I got was no, because we hear it all the time. It's how young men talk to each other. So it was things like that you were allowed to ask, that you didn't feel that and you knew you're going to get an honest answer. It was the best thing I've ever done for ages. It was just so cute.
God.
Honestly, it was
That's lovely to hear.
So
Really nice
the
to
play
hear.
is called Broken Boys, and it's about a group of lads that are given, under a new initiative by the school, are given like free roam of a classroom with the idea that they're all going to talk. So they're all lads who sort of struggle with mental health or have had some sort of trauma in the past. And the expectation is when they're given free roam in this classroom, they're going to talk. But actually, all they do is batter each other and talk about Call of Duty and play football. That's what they do. And then, so that's where I wanted to reflect sort of what my lads group chat is like on stage. I wanted to put my friends on stage. I wanted to put myself as a young person on stage. It's like there was a report that came out that white working class young men are the least likely to go to theatre. Why is perhaps that there hasn't been a play that reflects their reality, and I wanted to be as close to that reality as possible. And it is hard and it is tough to watch. It is genuinely funny at points as well. So we're on at 53 to the end of August. Are we 21st to the 24th of August? Yeah. We're on at 53
4 nights. 4 whole nights that we're going to really struggle to sell. So please. Yeah. We don't normally do 4 nights back to back, but then we've decided to do it this time, but I don't know whether it's...
Because we're ambitious. We're ambitious in
Why
anything.
not? You're going to fill it. You're going to fill it. I feel like
we've only
you
got
are.
600 tickets to sell. It'd be fine. Absolutely fine.
And on that note, I'm going to ask you Rachel's question that Rachel should be asking, really. What's for tea tonight, guys?
We had KFC at lunch, didn't we? Yeah, we had a...
I love that for you guys.
Yeah, so I don't know if I have tea.
I'm actually not hungry because I'm on a diet.
But I had KFC at lunch. You had like...
I did promise the family some vegetables, so I'm like,
Veggies.
I'll make one of them meals, with vegetables when I get home. Honest.
And everyone in the Parker household goes, what are them?
The more neglected family, wasting away. When's she going to be home? I can't live on crisps anymore.
Miranda's on a diet, I guess we all are as well.
I'm just going to be thinking tonight about you and your family around the table, nobody eating anything, just like, what's this?
What are you having for tea?
I'm having, I feel like I always say the same thing. I'm making Thai curry tonight.
Oh, that'd be nice.
It's actually surprisingly quick
Is
and
that the
easy.
thing you say because you think that's really cool and that's not what you're really having? Because I swear you've had Thai curry for a week now.
I do. I have quite a lot of repeats in my life. Everyone has the same
I
sorts
have 5
of things
meals
that
that
they
are on
make.
repeat.
But if I'm honest, I'm wanting to watch the football, so Thai green curry is just quite fast. What about you, Jake? Are you not having anything?
I don't know if I don't know. I might get drunk.
What do you always cook? What do you cook? The chicken thing that you bought, fajitas.
Oh, I'm really honest.
That's the thing,
I've genuinely got about 5 meals that I can cook. It's really embarrassing.
We all
I can
do.
cook fajitas. I can cook salt and pepper chicken quite well. What else can I cook?
I bet they both taste the same.
I can cook an oven pizza quite well. Beans on toast.
you
I don't eat beans.
Jake don't eat any vegetables at all.
Oh, Jake.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Fair enough.
If it's green, stay away.
If it's green, stay away.
Which is a great advertisement for a traffic light.
Right, should we call it quits then?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us on.
That was lovely.
Always.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Fab.
See you soon.
See you later.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.